it! Yo, oh, and he gets it! He wants to necessarily back.
Hello Momocon, my name is Airhawkey. Today I am joined by Bucket and we are live with the first round of the 2v2 pools at Momocon 2025. There's going to be 8 heats today. You're going to be seeing 2 of them on this stream. The first one's about to happen right now, and already just in pools, this tournament is stacked. We have former North American champions, we have some of the top players from Europe just in the same first round pool together. Bucket, what do you think about this?
I think this tournament is pretty much the biggest Mario Kart LAN that we've ever seen. Like you said, the pools are absolutely stacked. We're going to see a lot of high-end level competition. It's going to be absolutely wild and really interesting to see what this kind of competitive environment will foster. So.
Yeah, no, Momocon's always been huge for this game. This is the biggest it's ever been. We're seeing in the tournament, we've got on the star tag, we have Luckyo, a former North American champion, won the American Worlds by Nintendo this past year in 2024, and the winner of Catalyst 2025, which if Momocon is the most stacked tournament ever, this year's Catalyst is probably second. We've got Emarie, who's on D2 MKU team, Gummy Vitamin. It's been known by a lot of names. I believe that was the first one. We've got Hedgi and MicheL, 2 teams from the 2 European players from Let 'Em Cook, very strong players. LinguineBruh, one of the finalists of Catalyst in the past, and P-Merks, the TO of Catalyst. We've got Walouise and maxxe, 2 very involved players in the collegiate scene. Walouise, the owner of the Walouise series of teams, has helped a lot of talent grow over time, and maxxe, one of those players that Wall has helped brought up. We've got Lady Jules and Firestone from the WarioParty team. I believe they're a bit newer to the scene, but they've still put on a very good performance. Firestone won Sky League last night, and we've got FlameHBF and Monjero, who I believe are also new to Mario Kart LAN.
Yeah, it's going to be a really exciting matchup. Wanted to shout out MicheL for they are MK Central moderators, so huge thanks to all they do for the community and everything that they put for us. Lounge is a really important aspect, and for me, a definitely personal way of training for these kind of things. So.
Yeah, MicheL is my boss as MK Central Media staff, so
yeah, he'll be watching our language and making sure everything's in check.
They were saying first pick's going to be Royal Raceway. I might be able to catch who that is. I believe that's an after-party pick by Lady Jules there.
This is a really interesting track because you can get a big lead on this, but it's also, those last shortcuts at the end open some potential for bagging.
Yeah, I think this track is probably up there for me with the GBA Mario circuit of just being a weird bagger, and like, yes, you can bag on it, and you like stop at that set, pull dodges, but if you don't pull shock, it is great for running. And if you want to call your bluff, pick what you think you're better at. If you can like find your win con and get it, you'll win, and that's how you move on. And I think that's what everybody's going to be looking for in this pool.
Looks like we only have Emarie bagging right now, at least hard bagging from my perspective.
Also, Emarie's minimap is off. I don't know if she's going to catch that. That's really bad. You got to catch that fast.
If you aren't familiar with the minimap, is a really important part to competitive play. You know, naturally it allows you to make sense of where everybody is, and is a really good opportunity for bagging. So hopefully, maybe on this glider, we'll see that turn on.
Yeah, because Emarie can get a glance of, like, she knows she's in 12th. She can see WarioParty 6. I believe that is P-Merks in front of her. Are we going to catch the map? Tilt controls on, minimap on. We got it fixed. There we go.
Beautiful.
We're seeing Luckyo's got a star in triple streams in 9. Maybe looking to run this dodge up. That's going to be really smart if he can. Pack is pretty tight. We've got MicheL running in 1 on the villager Teddy. Hedgi with a couple greens in 5.
Overall, it seems like a pretty close pack.
Hedgi line filling a little bit there. Going to fall off a bit. Kind of fall back into that pack. We're seeing this top 3 starting to break away a little bit now, too.
We have Mario, MicheL, okay. MicheL's perspective here.
Got a horn. This is really good. Horning Luckyo off glider would be so big. Luckyo gonna opt to slow down to avoid the danger of the horn.
He does.
You're pretty secure in 3rd right now, too, especially with gonna burn the horn here. Oh, chain in the set here. Knock out somebody. You're in 2 now. I don't know what Flame's got in 1.
Doesn't look like he has any item right now. That is a dangerous position. I assume that MicheL's...
That probably came from a shroom up. Yeah, Luckyo gonna shroom up here. Fighting, gotta be really careful with the trail. You have to remember in LAN, so many of these players are used to playing online.
There we go, yep.
Trails are a lot more accurate than they are online. The lag trail does exist in LAN, but generally where you see somebody on your screen is probably exactly where they are. And you have to give them respect and respect those trails so much more. We're seeing Emarie's up in 2 now with triple shrooms. This is
Seriously.
great for the end of the track.
Bagging was definitely the right strategy here. It just goes to show you, even if nobody else is bagging, you can still, it's a very viable
Yeah, and
strategy.
on a, I don't want to jinx it, but it's so far shockless Royal Raceway. But if shock comes, it's about to stop mattering. You know,
Yeah,
Emarie's got this red. I think Hedgi's got defense.
That's a guarantee.
Hedgi didn't have
The blue
defense.
shell's coming.
I think she still makes it to the line.
Yeah, and that's it.
Just barely getting to the line at the last second. I think I heard it from Luckyo. I think that was a top 2 for the star tag. Yeah, that's a top 2 for Luckyo and Emarie. A great start to this pool.
Definitely.
That is exactly how you want to get started.
You're going to see throughout, as we progress through this Mogi, as we tend to refer it, it's really important that you are not just aware of yourself, but also your teammate. So those top 2s, those things are going to be crucial. And if they can really capitalize on
Oh my
it with
god,
the
they're
front
huge.
runners,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially because you being in top 2, nobody else can get first or second. You just need to start building such a big gap, and eventually you can get to the point of everybody in the room just kind of saying like, they're too far gone. We're just gonna let them do their thing. Like if I'm in 4th, I'm targeting 3rd. If I'm in 3rd, I'm beating 4th down. Because placement does matter.
It does.
Right? Because it affects your seed in the next round. Placing higher, you're going to be playing against more people who play slower than you. But I still think more than anything, qualifying at all matters a lot more.
I think so. I think the goal is really to get top 3 because there's so many variables that come to this thing where you just really can't, wager on maybe I want to get 2nd place or maybe I want to get 3rd. You just want to do the best that you can,
Yeah, we're seeing. I didn't think we caught who that track pick was, but we're seeing another bagger now with Animal Crossing, the fall version.
Oh, man. As long as it's not the winter version, I think it's.
I think Winter Animal Crossing gets
It gets a lot of shade.
I think Winter Animal Crossing is the only one you kind of have to bag because it's so much harder to drive. You got the ice physics on it everywhere.
But I do tend to think that one isn't picked too much. Like
It is random. You are gambling a little bit when you pick it. If there's a certain version you like, you got to kind of commit to it. The time trial is on, I believe, the spring version. There's a couple of boost ramps there. The fall is pretty standard. I think there's just these ramps that are normally here on summer are gone.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the most like vanilla this track gets. There's not much going on. And you're seeing it with this pack. Huge gap right now between top 6 and bottom 4.
Luckyo with a very nice first place.
And that's a
Double
great pull to have in
protection
1. Yeah, the Nana's gone, but getting the bomb after. What's he gonna do with this bomb? Just gonna back it. I think just missing people with this.
He does have to slow down due to.
Just gonna letting P-Merks stare into 1. Probably the right play.
Horn
Pulling
is
a horn
really
for
good
it too. Yeah.
It's very good pull, especially somebody takes this mushroom and with the blue shell coming up. I think.
Yeah, Blue's out now. I think P-Merks is just gonna have to take it. Lucky's gonna get up into 1 with a horn.
He might try to slow down. Nope.
Because that's a great pull unless shock happens. And I honestly think if Royal Raceway was kind of a 50-50 on whether or not shock comes, I think Animal Crossing is a lot more certain.
We can see
You're
all
gonna
the
have to really
players in the back here, like they all have star, and the gap is shortening, so it's kind of tough to say. Really, in these kind of environments, you just can't predict shock that well. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
Hedgi's
we'll see.
getting a little bit kidnapped by Luckyo right now. This shroom is great, but especially with the triple greens that are going to come after, if you shroom up, you're just like such a massive target. You were just begging to get horned out by Luckyo.
And if it was anything but a horn, that would probably be the best move, because then you could really box out Luckyo, but that horn can just totally wipe away his great shots.
Yeah, horn is an incredible pull from 1. It is the best pull you can get.
Luckyo still with a strong first. Emarie's trying to come back from the back. We can see that most of our players here are riding a good top 3 though. Shroom is definitely going to help out with this last shortcut here.
Really nice correction by Hedgi there, getting the mushroom ghost and opting to throw the greens up to try to double out red out Luckyo before the finish line. It doesn't work though. But MicheL and Hedgi still getting a 2-3, a really, really strong race.
That was... Let's see what's Luckyo's teammate.
Yeah, Luckyo and Emarie getting 1-4 as well. I think these two are now kind of starting to break away a little bit.
Yeah.
And now you're almost having a bit of a game because you got to play for 3rd now a little bit.
Yeah.
It is only race 2 of 8. There's 6 races left. And I think what you play to how to qualify should probably change mid-round. Like
I think so, yeah.
if the team in 2 starts catching up, maybe you want to play for 2. But I think right now,
it's just best
3rd is going to be that 3rd place spot is the easiest one to grab. Especially if the same 4 people keep getting top 4. The margins everywhere else are going to tighten a lot because you're not getting those first place points worth like 15, 12, 10. It's just you're just stuck in this gap of like 8 to 1, and things can shift so much easier. Which double-edged sword. If you're on the bottom, you want that because you can catch up so much faster. If you're in 3, your position is so much more delicate.
And I think there is potential because it's this early on to mix it up with tracks like Yoshi Island. But again, we're really going to be seeing. I think most people in the community prefer front-running tracks. So
yeah, that is one thing I think is an interesting something that I like to look at when I'm like watching other people play is how do you respond to a bad race? Because there's sort of the classical answer of like I know like back in like 8U tracks like Cheeseland, Dry Desert got picked a lot because they were resetters. Front running was a bit better in 8U as well. So you want to be in this situation where it's like okay, like I got to make it completely neutral for everyone. But now in 8 Deluxe, you can pull a mushroom at the first set, and so like you can pick shroomers. You can pick a track like honestly, to some extent, Walouise Stadium. That shroom cut, you can take it shroomless, but having that shroom cut The shroom up just makes your life so much easier. There's so much less stuff you have to deal with. We're seeing these our top 4 here. We're gonna see if
MicheL
anyone
does
pulls
get a
shroom.
burnout. That's unfortunate. Wonder if he'll switch his strategy to bagging. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, already gonna opt to stop and set a little bit. I think in 2v2, once you have a bit of a gap, we saw that leaderboard earlier. They're about 10 points up on 3 after 2 races. You're gonna opt to go for these half-pipe sets too. All these half-pipe tracks, I feel like people just forget there's item sets on here so often. They can be so good for your race.
It's like, and you can already see there's such a huge lead with it. I believe it's after party, and it's just like, how do you come back from this? You know, how as a Mario Kart player do you have the mentality?
Luckyo getting a nasty green on Walouise. That's not. Yeah, already falling to the back of this pack. We're seeing a bit of a split so far. We've kind of had this happen every race, where we have about 4 or 5 people trailing a little bit, and then eventually some of them can run up. And we've got everybody else a little further back. We've got Luckyo and Emarie again in 1-4. The positions are swapped this time, but still.
Mine's very clean, maintaining very low pace. Surprising that we haven't seen a shock yet, actually. So I wonder if that's due to the kind of gap situation that we
I think if we're going to see a shock, it's going to be coming from these back spots. That villager's in a star right now. There's shock, yeah.
Okay.
I think that villager did dodge. That might have been the villager's shock. I couldn't quite tell. You're seeing, and then MicheL dodges with Bill, and already starting up to 9.
This is
Max
actually
coins
a really good
too,
spot.
yeah. Got that Bill up to 8 now, and yeah, shock's not going to come for a bit. You can hold this Bill for another like 20-ish seconds still.
I think so, and I think if he can get another power out, does decide to use it early.
I don't mind this chain. I like this chain. I think it's good. I think the line was a little bit scuffed after the whole half pipe section. Maybe didn't get quite the line he wanted. It's going to build him to 3, and he's going to dodge that red. He's got 2 shrooms down for the rest of the track. Great pull to have.
A strong lead, has air horn, which is blue shield protection.
And Hedgi's got defense behind him as well, and soon to be triple defense too. MicheL's in a perfect position to just run with these 2 shrooms, try to make up whatever ground he can. Linguine's going to be holding on to 2 as hard as he can.
MicheL dodges the bomb to take the shortcut, lands in a nice second. Luckyo in 4th.
Yeah, Hedgi got hit out though on the shortcut though.
Oh, that's so unfortunate. If he can pull a really good item here, he might be able to save it, but that's still... Oh, yeah, triple greens.
Linguine's holding on to 3 as hard as they can. If they can break into these top 4, that's going to be huge for any of these other teams. They're in 3rd by now, but just 2 points. Max and Wall are right behind them.
Yeah. Oh, what a close snipe, but unfortunately is going to... Ooh!
You're gonna chalk blown on the line. That's gonna do something too. That let Wall sneak into 3rd.
Yeah, that was a placement drop, so not super bad, but that's still quite unfortunate because it would have been nice to hit that.
It's gonna, because I think that was... Yeah, that's MicheL and Hedgi still getting 4-6. Luckyo going to 9 actually. I mean, they're still top 2.
Yeah.
That matters more for the WarioParties and the $0 than it does for the team that actually got 4 there. Because the 1 point difference matters a lot more for our 3rd and 4th teams that are so close to each other. See, yeah, Tag W did gain, but only by 4. And honestly, even B is kind of catching up a bit. It looks like, yeah, I think right now it does look like Fun and MFR falling behind a little bit. There is still time to catch up, but they do need to start. They need to turn it around soon.
And I'd wager to say first place.
First place are a little bit gone. I think they've gotten 1 every single race.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty safe to say that we'll see them definitely place the top 3.
I would be surprised. It could happen. I mean, mathematically, it can still happen. But in a 2v2, if you get 1, that guarantees you're having a good race. You're seeing Luckyo and Emarie. Looks like they're gonna go for Sky High Sunday, but it's gonna end up being DK Mountain. That's DK Mountain, I think, actually. Yeah, that's DK Mountain from.
This one I could wager you can definitely expect a shot from this track. Like this is gonna be a huge run.
So it's defined by the cannon set, right? Because you got this cannon especially, I think, is one of probably the most ridiculous cannon sets in the game.
I would put this DK Summit chair right here.
DK Summit in this one, yeah. The DK Summit cannon set's a little bit more ridiculous because it's right there, but even still on Mountain, you're probably going to see people stopping at set lap 2.
So we're going to see MicheL, unfortunately, with another burnout, so that might mean a little bit of another shift.
I think this one might be intentional.
I think so.
On DK Mountain, this track's a bagger. This, I think, could be intentional. Because also, I think for where they're at in 2 right now, they've got a little bit of room to play with, but not the most. I think the best thing they can do is have one of them running, and have one of them just kind of controlling the back, keeping an eye out for shock. Because the people that have been kind of hitting the weaker races here are going to be in the back more. So you don't have to worry about what they have so much as making sure that your team doesn't get hurt by the shock. You don't really care about the team that's 20 points behind you, at least not until they start catching up. You care about the people that are right next to you.
I totally agree. I think you're right on saying people are just going to be wagering for that 2nd and 3rd spots, especially because I'm assuming those players will tend to they're facing the mid-pack part. You know, we see these top teams, they're already, nothing's guaranteed, but we see that they already
got Hedgi in 2, that looks like Luckyo in 1, I believe, in the dark blue Yoshi. Get Hedgi in 2. I think it looks like Walouise is in 3rd. I think that's somebody from... I can't quite tell who that 4th place me is right now.
No.
Oh, that's Firestone in 4 right now. Yeah, that's Walouise in 3rd, Firestone in 4. Hedgi barely snagging somebody with this fire way back there. You're just going to back all of that. Probably going to back this green in the set as well. Just try to start chaining. Luckyo's got a bit of a gap. Pretty decent pull. Burning this room immediately is not great. Yeah, you kind of want to have that pull. Hedgi is going to get double box here, and it doesn't look like anything's going to be thrown at him, so I think it's fine.
That's really unfortunate. Emarie has the blue, and will have to hold the blue because Luckyo has the lead.
Honestly, the ghost there is good. A second ghost is scary. I think the scariest part about this is you're boosting shot odds for everyone else in the back, because blue's out of rotation now.
With the triple reds in second, really nice gap away from the rest of the competition.
Yeah, they're shocked the blue's gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's really
looks
good.
Looks like they got Luckyo just past set. I think Luckyo is just going to opt to go into the cannon.
Do have some sock dodges from the $sign. That's going to be really good.
Yeah,
for
that's
them
Walouise up to third. I think that might be Maxxe up to fourth. Blooper's blocking it a little bit, but yeah.
Luckyo with a huge lead. Definitely going to expect.
Yeah, that's Walouise and Maxxe in 2 and 4. If they can hold on to this, that's going to be a huge race. That puts them right back in it.
Let's see what
Hedgi getting billed too. By I think P-Merks.
Tries to slow down for better items. Does get a blooper.
Getting the blooper.
And you can just see this is really where we get luck in place in there.
The thing is too, this is one of the higher value tracks you can get a blooper on. The traction debuff does actually mess with gap a little bit. That is a bit of a community service pull, you know, just doing something to help everybody out a little.
That's gonna be
the Emarie and the dodge.
Wow. And the
Emarie's
blue shell.
Getting 2 off of that.
That is just absolutely insane.
Luckyo and Emarie getting a top 2.
Just extending the lead even further.
That is
such
ridiculous.
An unfortunate shot too. Bullable in 6 with the shot. You can hear.
Yeah, Walouise and Maxxe dropped all the way to 5 and 11.
Wow. That's already going to be breaking the 100-point gap. No, just barely behind the 100 points.
So yeah, that's every bagger we've played. I mean, every track has had something crazy happen on it. I mean, when you play baggers in a setting like this, especially in pools where the like gaps between some of the best players and some of the newest players in these lobbies can be so big, things like this can just happen sometimes. Like when you get last year's North American World Champion, just stuff gets kind of weird. Pulls get kind of funny.
Well, and like it's just with Lounge, I know we have a more accurate ranking to determine your skill level, right?
Yeah.
Kind of more who you're with. We don't really have that. It's just your seeding, and you can be placed like, you know, for all I know, next round we could be placed with the world champs as well.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's really just, you know. And I think that's why some players tend to lead more towards
I believe this race could be pretty big for Maxxe and Walouise. I know Walouise is one of my teammates. I know Walouise adores Koopa Cave. It is one of his favorite tracks.
Definitely thriving on comfort here. The more you know the track.
And it's good for their spots too, because you pulled this mushroom here at this first set. There's so few item boxes that are in your path on this track.
Well,
you have to go out of your way for so many items.
Yeah, especially if you want to go the double, you're taking a really wide outside lane for that.
Feel like you're going to burn that coin immediately. Definitely a smart move, because you're not going to get a box for a while, especially if you're going fast. Because you see, oh, there's another set, but it's on this half pipe, and I don't want to go slow and get that thing. You might be able to pick up that box, but you're not going for that because you're trying to get the cut.
Yeah, it doesn't go for the double. Does try to take the shroomless cut, which is an interesting strat I actually haven't seen before.
Really, really fortunate defense pull there. Got Emarie in 2 to also give them even more defense as well from first. And getting Nano Horn in first, incredible pull. Exactly what you want if you're Luckyo. Especially if no blue comes, he probably just holds this for the rest of the race if I'm Luckyo.
Got Hedgi in the back with 9. Does have some shrooms, tends to be holding it. Most likely will use it towards those cuts. Again, you really have to play like tactically with your items here. Red completely wipes out a lot of people. I believe that was Firestone in the back. Does go for the bagging on lap 2. We'll see how that turns out. That could very well be the right play or the wrong play.
Yeah, you want any dodge items are great as long as you have mushrooms.
Yeah,
that is enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if we named this Mushroom Cape instead of Koopa Cape because it really does feel like that. We do have the blue coming out, but Luckyo's have the protection.
Luckyo's horn is fully safe. Even if a ghost comes, he'll be able to horn it.
We do have a player in second though, so that does leave.
It's getting shot canceled though.
Yeah,
canceling the blue though. That's.
Emarie goes for the items. Only does give the 2.
It looks like that's Maxxe in 2 right now as well from the $0 team.
Oh, beautiful. Luckyo just really want to hold this lead. This does open some opportunities for maxxe to get a really high placement. It's up to him whether he wants to be aggressive or defensive, but if he can secure a top 3 here, that's going to be huge in making sure that they can get top 3.
I think the call is going to be informed though. Emarie's got this plant. I think Emarie might opt to take the cut, but they very well can play aggressive, go for Maxxe here, and turn that into a top 2.
Tries to back.
Maxxe has the shroom up, but now they're in danger from this plant. I don't know. I think this probably catches Maxxe.
And just barely.
Maxxe hanging on. Maxxe gonna let Emarie into 2. Luckyo is gonna get blued though. Maxxe just letting Emarie into 2, letting him have this top 2.
Traction is tough. Red show right there.
Maxxe's got double reds. That's gonna be a first for Maxxe.
That's gonna be a really nice line though from Emarie. I think that is a secured first place with Maxxe
almost sniped one at the last second. That was so close.
So unfortunate.
This was a really good race though for a $0. Walouise is up there as well.
Top 3. Let's see.
Yeah, 2-5.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Although
really good.
Tag W though 3-6. I think the big gain here they have here is on Hedgi and MicheL.
Yeah.
This definitely evens the playing field a lot more. They had a little bit more room to play with, but definitely shortening this 14-point gap. And we've got a background now.
Look at that.
You guys don't get to see the rest of the convention anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Thank you to Knight. Thank you to everybody who got that set up for us just now. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah, that goes to show one track back again. What you do from the back, what Max and Wall do after they get 5 and 11, turn that into a 2-5. Really, really strong race.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we're seeing now they're now tied for 3rd with Tag B, and look how close it is between 2, 3, and 4.
That's really where our focus is going to be, because we can already tell, top 2. Actually, I'd wager that 2nd place might still have a little bit leeway. 6 points is not a lot, but I do think that
Six. Yes, with 2 teams tied, that changes things a little bit, because if one other team does kind of badly, it keeps you safer, and if one team does good, it means everybody else is doing a little bit worse, just necessarily. And with Luckyo and Emarie getting their Sky High Sunday pick, I think this might be the point where everybody just kind of lets them run away with it at this point.
Yeah.
They're already up 47. Catching them would be really hard. That's going to require like top 2s multiple times in a row from the same team.
It's hard.
I think somebody's moving over to Iggy Comet. Just now noticing that. That's definitely been here. And also Max looks like Max on the Biddy Buggy as well.
Luckyo starting with 1 coin might actually help here on the glider section. Does maintain a nice 3rd, gets the mushroom. We'll see if he chooses to shroom up. That is Daisy in 1st. Don't know who that quite is.
Emarie's got these triple nanas up in 3. Luckyo's got triple. I think they both have triple nanas.
I think so too. So they're just going to really want to play defensively, ensuring they don't hit each other off, potentially ruin a really great front run. Hedgi and MicheL 4th and 3rd, trailing right behind Luckyo and Emarie.
I want to see the Sky High Sunday gap jump. It is barely better, but it is very funny.
Yes,
it is one of my favorite. It is one of my favorite cuts. You're seeing Hedgi now falling down to 8 though after getting redded out here.
maxxe is in the back, which is unfortunate. They really need a good race to be able to pull up to that top 3.
Yeah, this really isn't.
It's really hard because
it's hard to back here because also there's so many spots to trick. There's so many anti-gravity boosters everywhere. Like if you get hit out, you can run into one of these boosters, get your speed back up. There's this glider as well at the start.
It's just really hard because like bagging is so much harder in this kind of environment, especially in qualifiers. I think it's unpredictable whether you get a shot or not. I think we've only seen like 2.
We saw one on Koopa Cave by now as well.
Yeah.
We saw one on DK Mountain.
So
I believe Animal Crossing we made it. It's never bad to pull a shot.
Definitely.
It's just more a matter of how good is it for you. Yeah, Hedgi getting a star all the way up to 5 now. Was in 4 for a second.
Luckyo, another
getting
shot
the blue
canceled,
canceled
but does
though.
fall off.
Another shot cancel blue for Luckyo though. He's got friends somewhere in the back. I don't know who they are, but I'd be very happy if I'm him. We're seeing MicheL now growing back up again. We got MicheL in 3, Walouise in 2 though. Actually, this is their competition right now. They can afford to let Wall get a bit of a good race.
We do have maxxe in the mid pack. Hopefully, their teammate right here in 2nd. This is actually going to be really good for the dollar team. We're about to see though.
Yeah, because I think what MicheL and Hedgi want is they want a good race.
Yes,
they want to get top
definitely.
spots. If they can't get that, they want a good race along with one of $sign and B. They don't want them both doing good, and they're both kind of up here right now.
Just barely dodges the
oh
bomb.
my goodness,
It does
Luckyo.
get
And getting
redded
redded
out
though with
there.
no defense. The triple game
Takes
full though
the-
is going to be able to
take it.
He's going to be able to gatekeep pretty much everybody out of the top 6 at this point though with these triple greens. It's going to be almost impossible to pass him on such a tight stretch. You just hold on to this. Going to keep 6. I think I see a blue Birdo up there. I think that's Max, and I think 7th. Yeah, that's another 2-7, another good race from $sign.
I actually think that is going to give them the top edge over what's.
They gained over WarioParty there, yeah.
Okay.
That was, I think WarioParty had 3 in a slightly lower spot. I think they're up. They should be up to 3 now. Yeah, by 1. By 1 point.
This is so close. This
Oh.
is 6 races too, right? No, it is 12 races.
I think there's 2 races.
Yeah.
I believe it's 8 or I believe it's 8.
Okay. So yeah, it's just like things like this.
It's a
will
12.
really
Yeah, no,
just
it's a 12
bring
race
your
pool.
heart
We're
up.
halfway
Yeah.
done, and there is
Already.
1 point separating 2, 3, and 4.
Fortunately,
This
M
is
and F
ridiculous.
are very far behind. It's gonna take.
On
don't
me,
know.
I did not realize it was 12 races.
Yeah.
Having this extra 4 definitely loosens things a lot. Like Luckyo and Emarie's gap is continuing to grow. They're safe. I think they're probably safe
think
at this
so. I
point.
think it's-
They probably don't have to worry as much. I think they got to come back tomorrow.
Yeah. So I would wager to say that they are gonna walk away from here top 1.
I don't know if it'll be first. I think it would be
know.
hard to. This momentum's going to be hard to kill,
Yeah,
but
definitely. 60-point lead. Well, 57-point lead.
nearly 6. I'm
Yeah.
pretty much. I don't think you care about the exact number if
I
you're
don't
2,
think
3,
so,
4. I
no.
think you care about not being 4th, and that is all you care about right now.
Again, most of the battle we're going to see here is going to be for that top 3, right between that gap of 3rd and 4th. Those are our closest point differences here. 7th race, Rome, a bit of an interesting track. I don't know. I, like most other players, I hate tour tracks, but I actually think this is going to be an interesting track. It's kind of tough to tell where this will go. Lucky and Emarie will probably, keep extending their lead. It's been working just great for them now. But it does seem like we have some bagging opportunities. It's hard to tell
this shroom cut is what's going to matter at the start here. We're seeing Luckyo and 3 might get a shroom. Because there's 2 incredible shroom cuts at the beginning. I don't think anyone in the tops has a shroom right now. No. MicheL's got these triple shrooms in 12 though, going to be able to take both these cuts and maybe get a dodge after it as well. Gonna hold on, gonna burn that last shroom. Not gonna get a double though. Getting another set of triple shrooms though. Already up to 8, and he's got a 7th now, 6, and he's got another shroom cut. He's so quickly, he's up to 3rd from just 2 shroom cuts.
Just looks like he's gonna burn them and focus on maintaining those good sets. We do have Luckyo and
shrooming up's a little bit dangerous with Luckyo having a red in 2. Gonna keep 3 here, probably go for doubles. You're seeing that Hedgi as well in 5 as well. Off to a really good start as well, and especially with Jules in 4. That's going to ensure you've got even more of a gap on these teams you're super tight to.
Only 6 coins, so probably is looking for...
Because you're going to opt to hit Firestone out as well, bringing it up to 3-4.
This is a great backspotting.
Especially with Luckyo Emarie in top 2. If they can hold these positions, they're in for a great race.
And he does
backing, I think that's maxxe as well getting backed.
So, quite unfortunate, but luckily it's not too... third lap hasn't happened yet. There's still a lot of potential, a lot of opportunities.
Right.
A big thing we're going to see is the chain chomp section. A great spot for bagging.
It's also shock. If shock happens, it's going to come soon.
It's that.
There's the blue. We might see shock soon as well. Looks like it's not going to be a shock blue.
Air horn. So
are we going to see it? And Luckyo had the horn.
They have phenomenal luck right here.
He finally got to use it. He's had horns so many times. Finally got to use it. I mean, with that top 2, they get so many chances to chain for it. They just finally got to use it. And Emarie able to take this shroom up. Looks probably going to be another top 2.
It's just, you can see here, I think in the community we kind of meme about bagging, but there really is power in front running here. If you can just consistently maintain
Emarie really like that cell screen there. It's the style points at the end. Pretty fun. Yeah, MicheL and Hedgi getting the 3-4.
That was actually really good for them,
That looks like going to be a slight gain for Linguine and P-Merks, but not by much. Yeah, if you're Hedgi and MicheL, you don't want Peaches doing good. There's a Peach on $, and there's a Peach on W. You don't care which one you're hitting out. You just got to hit out one and F.
Aggression
that is,
over.
and I think that is it is a tiny advantage, but it is an advantage
have 2
for
points
WarioParty and $0 because they know exactly who they're hitting. They know which team to go for. They know to shoot for Daisy and Peach, or they know to shoot for Yellow Yoshi, Villager Boy. They know exactly who they're hitting. They don't have to play any guesswork. They know exactly who to go for 3rd. Hedgi and MicheL got to guess a little bit with the Peach.
Yeah, you want to be driving this aggression here, It's really becomes much more of a focus on not just your placement, but also how you're affecting the other team and what you can do to make sure that they just get the worst race possible.
Yeah, because I mean we've still got 5 races left, and the gap's thinned a little bit, but it's still a gap of 7 points. We've seen changes of more than that in a single race.
Definitely.
We are hitting the point of it being mathematically impossible for Luckyo and Emarie to fall out of top 3. I think we've already hit it.
66 point. I do expect this to go to a 70 point. At that point,
And yeah, another runner, especially Chronopoint Slide, it is a very good runner. There is this shroom cut at the very end, and that's what makes it so good, is because it comes so late, you don't really get the chance to kind of take advantage of the items you can run up with that cut. Like first place can build a bit of a gap, and yeah, they'll lose some time to the shroom cut, but a lot of runners are like that.
Yeah.
And just how strong the runner is kind of varies based on how strong the shroom cut is.
Quite much the contrast between LA Labs, where that's really something that you would want to ensure that you have a mushroom for that cut, but like you said, just because it's so late.
Honestly, if there's no shock on LA Labs, it's a runner.
Yeah, I think so.
I've had a few shockless LAs lately, and they're fully just runners.
You usually see that towards...
If there's shockless LA, someone's doing something wrong. I think we've had a pretty low shock Room, which has been surprising me.
Yeah,
I was shocked by... shocked. Well, shockless Rome kind of surprised me. It's a pretty common place to get a shock on.
It's interesting because you think with this big lead that we would see some more shock opportunities, but you can already see there's such a big pack in the middle. Everybody's kind of bending off right there. MicheL does take the shroom cut.
You got the fire up in 3 with with wall right in front of him. Being so close to the fire on land does end up not working as well. Just because of how fire works, the closer you are to someone, the harder to hit. That was a lag hit on Walouise, it looks like. But there's a real hit though. Wow. It doesn't even matter. Walouise has that shroom to recover. I think he's got another one after.
So you're on 2nd. This is going to be really big if they can maintain possibly a top 6. That could give them the edge.
Oh, getting fired up by Luckyo there. That's pretty bad as well.
Triple greens.
You really don't want that. And getting backed by Monjero as well. MicheL falling all the way down to 7, and Max is a star right behind him. Gonna take some hot shots at Wall. I think Wall's got a bit of a lead to not worry about this horn. but it is so close. I think Luckyo might be able to horn him on glider.
Oh yeah, it's gonna hold.
Oh, I thought I was waiting for it. Probably gonna want to hold on to this defense. You know, there's shrooms. You don't know what people are streaming up with.
Interesting. Doesn't use the horn. Goes for I think it might.
I am not as brave as Walouise. Yeah. I am not as brave as he's being right now. Then there's the horn. Killing a trail as well, getting 2 for 1. Very, very good horn there. I think Walouise is still up there. I see Peaches in the top as well. I think Daisy's in a bill right now. Definitely. Yeah, that's Max. That's Max and Wall in 5 and 6. Pretty good spot. I think MicheL is still up here in 6.
You can see that. You know,
Walouise barely dodging this Nana from MicheL is really scary.
These top players, they just have these techniques, these mini turbos, these little things that put them over the edge that enables them to kind of take that huge lead.
I was for the Nana snipe. I wanted it to happen. We've got Hedgi and MicheL in pretty good spots. Luckyo with Emarie.
Slows down and throws the bomb.
This bomb might matter. It's past the line. MicheL getting hit on the line. Wall past him. That matters.
That does matter.
Every single spot right now matters. Wall and Max both beat MicheL here. Yeah, that's a 3-6 from Wall and Max.
Really they beat. Good.
I think the only person Wall and Max didn't beat of these other group right now is I think Hedgi. I think that's it.
That's gonna be.
We just keep going back and forth. Yeah, they're back up in the third. Bia has been clinging to their top 3 spot just by a thread.
Yeah.
But they've never lost it. So like it's close, but it doesn't matter how close it is. It doesn't matter if they're 1 point ahead of the teams tied for 3rd through 6th.
Definitely.
It just matters if they get 2nd.
As long as they keep that consistent pace and they're consistently placing well, it's pretty safe to say that they'll be able to hold on to that. So.
Because that's the other thing I've kind of noticed is I don't think they've had any like really bad races.
No,
like they've
definitely.
I mean, the average race in a 2v2 average score in a race is going to be about 13 points.
Yeah.
Just doing 14 times 6 is going to come out to about 84. So as long as you're getting at least 14, you're doing fine. Their bad races, I mean, they're bad, are around maybe 9, 10, 11. It's not great, but you're only a little below average. You're still having someone get at least 5, 6, 7. Someone's going to score something. You're not getting like a bottom 2 or like a 9, 12 where you're scoring nothing. So even when the weak races aren't terrible and when the good races are more good than the bad ones, it's all going to average out to still being pretty high overall. Like they're still on 111 or 117 after I think 9 races? After 8.
We do have a stream opportunity.
Luckyo and Emarie defending the falls.
Oh my gosh.
This is the Kamek City Tripper.
Okay, man.
There is some level of iconography.
Yeah.
Hanks.
Little
if you've played Lounge before,
here.
if you've played Lounge and you've been in Tier F, Tier EF before, you know who Hanks is. Maybe you don't know you know who Hanks is, but you've been in his Mogi before. This is Hank's combo, the Kamek City Tripper. He loves it.
It doesn't pull
He's
out
not
that
getting the
trip.
trail out just in time. That might have been intentional to drop and get coins up. Shotgun Falls, it's got a streamless shortcut. It's one of the more finicky ones.
It is, and it's tough because you only get 1 item box from that, so sometimes it's better to prioritize that double.
It is another one of those where taking that cut does mean you forfeit the double set. It's not as bad as Koopa Cape was, but it does still definitely matter.
So we'll see if they go for it. Doesn't look like it.
I mean, Hedgi's got shrooms. If you've got shrooms, you take the shroom cut. I think there's usually, in my opinion, pretty little reason to not do it with the shroom because you can keep it drift for as well for afterwards. Hedgi getting the fire up, but then getting fired as well by Firestone too. And WarioParty's up here too as well. That's Linguine up in 3. Star in 5th. Oh yeah, one of the Kameks is gone right now. Not sure which one it is, but one of them is just gone in 1. You're gonna get some crazy pulls now. You'll get stars
at
at 5.
Red Yoshi in the back. I wonder how intentional that was, or if that. I don't want to say DC because.
If it was a DC, we'd be reopening it. If you fall off the track on that shortcut, you will lose so much time. That might have been
coming out for Luckyo does not have any protection. MicheL is going to be taking that first with triple shrooms, technically double shrooms.
Falling off the track though, and Luckyo's got this bomb. Luckyo's got this bomb, and he's such a target too as well for that bomb. The better pulls you have, the more attractive just backing things becomes. You got Hedgi and MicheL in 2-4 though. If they can hold on to this, it's an incredible race.
I wonder if he's going to try to go for the snipe. If they can get a first here, it's going to be huge.
Right now, their main goal should just be barely missing that bomb. Their only goal right now should just be getting rid of Linguine in 3rd.
That's what I'm
If they can get Linguine, they've got a lot more room to play with. They've just got to hold on to their spots for 3 more races.
I think it'd be too risky to try to go for that first and potentially lose out this top 3 that we got.
Yeah, especially because at this point it's only a 9-point lead over a W, but that's a lot better than the 3-point lead over the $0. Although I say that the bomb goes off that middle as well.
So unfortunate.
Got so many of them. Hedgi's up to 2.
Triple greens. Hedgi's gonna try to go for that first. Takes the mushroom.
Hedgi getting up to 1. They got it.
That first. Wow, that was huge.
I heard it from Luckyo. They didn't defend. I heard it from Luckyo. They wanted to defend the balls. I heard the line. They didn't get it.
That was actually huge for that team.
I think that's
just
positive for
good.
Max and Wall though. They still
Yeah.
they're gaining on W just a little bit. Because WarioParty, they got 3 and 12. Max and Wall got, I think, 4 and 9. It's the tiniest of gains, but they're slowly getting more and more ground. They've got 8 points now on WarioParty. It's not much, but with 3 races left, it's something. All you have to do is hold. You know who to target. If I'm Max or Wall, I've not been caring about Luckyo and Emarie for some time now.
Yes.
And I think I'm ready to stop caring about Luckyo and MicheL unless I have to. I'm just worried about WarioParty.
Well, and two, we do have the B team. They've pretty much extended a good 13-point lead. So while I would say that's a concern, I think right now you just want to be focusing on, can we not get a bad race? Can we keep staying?
Getting second is nice. It's a better seed for tomorrow, but getting in it all is what matters more.
Oh, we do have Yoshi.
They got their track
circuit
again.
coming
That's
out.
another track. This is the Hank's track. Defending the falls is nothing compared to defending the circuit.
So, with my little group over in Florida, they always tell me that Yoshi Circuit is a great front runner. This race, my friends, is going to prove to you why it's not, because we have really good bullet bill extension on this. The waterfall.
I think this is the first thing. If you're starting to learn this game, I think this might be the gateway to learning how to play this game more. I think this is probably the track. You see the YouTube short, you see the crazy bill extension, you go all the way from I think that's Yoshi's hand all the way down to past the spines on his neck. You're just like, that's ridiculous. It's got to be hard. And then you get a bullet bill in a race and you do it, and it's like, oh, this is really easy.
So
I could get good at this.
We are definitely seeing a divide here, though. So it's going to be tough to say. You can get a lead on here. If you get a huge lead too, it's a little bit of a risky play, but it does open up more potential. Items are based on both distance away from first place.
It's distance and placement, right? Yeah.
So we're going to be seeing
Bottom 4 guarantees you'll pull a dodge, but you can get ones in 5 sometimes if one's a little too far. I've pulled stars in 3 before on baggers before. It can happen.
That you did see, I believe
The blue's already out. Yeah, just past the end of lap 1.
And there's the
shock coming too right
Lap
after.
1, very early. That is going
Also,
to be really
Hedgi getting
unfortunate
shock
for
flew, gonna lose
Hedgi,
so many coins. Getting shocked by the coins though,
think
able
he
to
will
get
be able
most
to
of them
pull that
back.
up, yeah.
Still getting most of the coin count back up, but already you're seeing getting
Maxxe
past.
with the
Maxxe up
top
into
three, that is the
1,
first
Max up
right
into
there.
1. There's somebody in a bill. I can't tell who. That's a Max and Wall are in top 2 right now.
Oh my gosh.
You're
That's
gonna have to hang on to this
huge,
for
yeah.
a while.
You
Because also
really-
they've got P-Merks up there with them as well. You got to hang on to this top 2 for a long time.
You're really going to have to be worrying about
But if you
Luckyo
can-
and Emarie here because they're right in the range to be able to pull a bullet and something like that.
Hedgi backing the triple reds as well. That's really, really good. It's good for WarioParty. They were in 4th, dodging 2 reds. I think Max and Wall still hanging on to this top 2.
And they just broke away.
Getting
Is
a
that
bit of a break going.
Yeah, MicheL
I don't-
did get hit there.
Shock was pretty early. I think another shock can happen. If it gets pulled, it's getting pulled at this set by the people in the back.
Yeah.
We're seeing as well Linguine has been holding on to this 12th spot the entire time.
Luckyo
Probably
does
has a
have a
bill.
bullet here, but I don't think
Let's
it's going to
see.
catch up to Maxxe.
Linguine didn't have a bill. If I'm Wall and Max, I don't care what Luckyo's doing.
Yeah.
I just care that Linguine's getting a
Oh,
bad
it does
race.
get hit. No.
I think that was a lag hit, yeah. Got the star as well, pretty much guarantees a 1, but if Max and Wall keep this 2-3,
There is a
especially
bomb.
with
That
Emarie in
is-
4,
Oh my gosh.
this might be how they make finals. Or not finals.
Oh, Maxxe does get
That's
hit
how they
off
semis.
with the bomb, but I think
Max is still up
that
there.
is-
Max and Wall are still 2-3.
That is huge, and I think that is going to secure their top 3 right there.
Yeah, especially with that looks like Linguine in 5. I think that's P-Merks in 7.
Wow, that was
It's
the
not
race
as
they
it's
needed.
not as secure as they want. 2 bad races could do it,
Definitely.
but it's made their life a lot easier, and it also might even start pushing them closer to second.
Wow.
You're gaining with a 2-3, you're gaining 22 points. A 4-5, you're gonna gain, I believe, 8-17.
But
You're gaining a
that's
little
like-
bit on them.
Definitely. We went from a first second lead to
They're up 20.
that's like
Yeah.
that is just gonna be huge.
They're
right
eye in
there.
at this point. They got to be eye in second. Like they can getting second air as well, because your seed round 1 matters. After round 1, it is purely your placement last round. If you can get up ever so slightly just into that second place spot, it does a lot for you because you're playing against 2 teams who just barely made it through. Or even
It's
you're
like-
pushing someone into 3rd who shouldn't be there maybe.
That was
And
a
then
race
if you
from
can be
heaven
that second
right there.
place, yeah. But they absolutely
They
they
needed
had their
that,
win con was no shock.
Yeah.
And they got it. They played their out, they got their out.
Even with a bomb from I believe it was Luckyo, they still were able to maintain that second and third.
Yeah.
And like you said,
Keeping the
no
2-3,
bad
yeah,
races.
gaining a good bit as well.
Ooh,
We're going
that
to
is
another bagger though with Riverside Park. This is, because of how short this track is, it does get a little bit weird because it's less that there's some massive shortcut, and it's more just because of how crazy the tunnel section
Yeah.
gets. Because you've got the Patuis walking everywhere.
There's some good off-road
yeah.
sections too. You have a good opportunity.
Because you can shroom up in a massive off-road cut. If you get your government mandatory triple shroom star pull from like 9th through 12th. You get that
Definitely.
pull. You got your shrooms. You burn one of your shrooms. You maybe use the next two. Maybe use two to get a really good shroom cut. Luckyo can opt to turn around here, just not even trying to front run at this point. They can have fun with these last two races. They are now guaranteed first. They can have fun at this point. Yeah, no dodges are going to come up yet, so stopping at this first set is mostly to jockey for position. You really want triple shrooms in that back pocket so you can go into a single set, chain it immediately.
A bullet is actually really beneficial for this track if you can take it right during that off-road.
Right, yeah. Bullet, you can hop in a cut and it can get you through some of the tunnel. You don't need it. A star will do the job.
You just really want a dodge item.
Flame going all the way up into 5,
that is unfortunate. MicheL did fall off there.
Star up into 6 though. Let Hedgi get the star in 6 though, and he's gonna be able to run it up. I don't see anyone else with a dodge this high.
Emerie with
Emerie's
a blue and a
yeah.
bullet. I wonder if he'll choose the chooses to use it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, she's gonna opt to use Bill here. Gonna get a box in 8 though. Emerie was not Emerie. I think Firestone was stopping set there. Yeah. Monjero getting
get
glued.
the double. Very nice banana.
It goes up in a first. You got the first place bullet.
He is gonna lose the first place here. Yep.
Yeah, we're already seeing people shroom up star up. Hedgi's start up into 2 there. I'm not quite sure what Luckyo's got going on. He got some shrooms though, so probably got something good behind it. It is a nana behind, but you still got 2
the back
shrooms.
catching up here, so it's gonna be pretty tough to say.
You got 2 shrooms. That can get you through a lot of this. You can take this cut right here. That's 1.
Nice item chain there. Hedgi still has a good first lead. MicheL does have double protection. Not necessarily a huge thing as it would be in first
At this
place
point, if it's shockless, they're in a great spot. Because then the next thing you're gonna do, you take the first run up, and here's number 2. And now Luckyo's up into 1. If there's no blue, he's golden for the rest of the race. If there's no shock, he's absolutely fine.
I would say that I think front running really served Hedgi and MicheL well here.
I mean, on a shockless Riverside Park, there was 1 blue, and I think it was Monjero that took it. Yeah, it can happen. The race is short enough that 30-second timer for shock just means there's only so many sets you can get pulled at. That was also another good race by Max and Wall, by the way. There's Peaches and Daisies up there. It's not going to be big, but Wall and Max gain them by another 2. It requires, I believe it is possible for W. It requires like a top 2 from them and a bottom 2 from Max and Wall.
Yeah, we did see that point lead extended to 22.
Yeah, so firstly, congratulations to Luckyo and Emerie for securing a 1 seed in round 2.
256
to
wild.
MicheL and Hedgi for also securing their spot in second round with probably a 2 seed. Odds are in their favor for it.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed, but they've got good odds for it.
As long as they don't have a bad race, I would be able to say. And then we're really just gonna, if the W team can get a golden race here, it might shake things up. But we are gonna be leaning more towards on the dollar.
It is truly just, and also if Emerie and Luckyo continue to perform as they've had and get any of 1 or 2, it's over.
I would say it's a top 6 placement. That's solid.
It's even if they get first, that automatically makes it impossible for WarioParty to make it out. I think even a 2 might even do it.
I always find qualifiers really interesting though, because you can see here, it's really hard on whether to rely on front running or bagging. You can't always predict the shot.
Yeah,
so,
I mean it varies, of course, from track to track. You're never gonna see me trying to run Mario Circuit 3. But if I can get like Water Park, Wario Stadium, I'm absolutely pushing for tops as soon as I can.
Especially Wario Stadium in this
also,
kind of environment.
I'm just realizing I'm processing now what these scores are for Luckyo and Emerie. 132 and 124. Max amount of points from all top 2s is, I believe, 324. They're not far off it.
They have established themselves as, hey, we're looking to take finals and we're going to take down anybody that.
Yeah, because also I haven't gotten the chance to mention it. Luckyo was winner of FFA Catalyst this past spring.
Yes.
Also winner of Catalyst 2v2, and I believe also dropped around a 120 in finals there as well.
And studying
Luckyo has experience with winning 2v2.
Yeah.
He's absolutely down to do this.
It doesn't get buff off very nice. You can just see Luckyo and Emerie, they take the time to master those strats. They're pushing in their mini turbos. They're doing things that most of the other players aren't doing, which is what is getting that big lead.
Yeah, Luckyo and Emerie both have almost 6 years of tournament history with MK Central. That's almost the full lifespan of 8 Deluxe.
Which is absolutely wild. Speaking of 8 Deluxe, it's going to be really interesting to see next year what we do for Mario Kart World and Momocon.
Yeah, game's coming out in about 2 weeks. I'm excited for it. We don't know what the format will be yet. Looks like you're going to opt to try to get a 9th place box here. Going to take 8th instead. 1's pretty far gone. You can opt to get a good chain here.
Just have the crazy 8 and 9.
I will say Linguine isn't too. If Linguine can get some kind of, if Linguine's run some kind of dodge
MicheL does have the blue shell dodge. Of course, it is harder in a kind of environment
Hedgi's got the dodge, yeah.
And
he hits the dodge as well too.
Nice.
That is.
Oh, does get redded out though? Oh, that's.
Yeah, WarioParty is in 1. That is half of what you need. The other half is making sure Max and Wall are out of. I think that might actually. There's a Daisy. There's a Peach up there. If that's P-Merks, that's how it starts.
It might actually be really good for WarioParty.
Wall's in 11. I'm not sure which Daisy it is. it is possible. This is how it happens. It is bottom 2 from maxxe right now. It can happen. Linguine's in 1. I think they can make it work with a 3. I think a 1-3 can make it happen.
Let's see here.
They've got a lot of what they need.
Right here. Gonna be possibly either. Oh.
I think the Peaches in 3. It could happen. I think it's
gonna
ties.
want to be able. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, maxxe are
that's
making him spots though. They're making him spots, and the back 2 on MicheL that could turn into. It is a top 2.
Ooh, holy cow.
That's half of what they need. That's a plus 27.
And we hear the pop-up coming up.
They got 27
there.
points.
Yeah.
If maxxe need at least 6 points to make it out here. That's half of what they need. It's enough. They got 7. Just barely losing out. maxxe just barely make it though after that top 2.
Wow.
I don't know about
Unfortunate.
Just 4 points off.
Okay. Wow.
That is. Oh my gosh. You
is-
hate to
that
see
was
that happen
insane.
too. You do everything in your power. I mean,
Just barely miss out on it.
Linguine and P-Merks, they did everything right on that race. They got top 2. Like, it is the perfect race.
They
just
needed one more better.
yeah.
race.
You can't do anything about maxxe being back there. That's such a close room. Congratulations, obviously,
Definitely.
immediately to Luckyo.